Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, I'm the one that explores weird stuff. I'll tell y'all about that possibly later. I don't know if I want to tell y'all. It's way weird. But hey, we may tell you. I may tell you. God and I may tell you. We may tell you. So I wanted to clarify some things. Number one, with getting a court martial, I did get court martialed while in the military, but I had proof showing that the 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 wrongfulness that happened while I was in the military. It's not like they just plant out like honorable discharges like hotcakes. So I showed them the evidence. I had like a stack of evidence like this. And I had it in like three different or four different envelopes. And I sent it off to the Army Review Board, and they gave me my honorable. And I am forever in debt to the Army Review Board. It's not like they gave it to me because they thought, I was pretty or whatever the case may be. And, I am forever in debt to the Army Review Board for doing that because I'm able to go to school. I'm able to get paid to go to school. I'm able to do all the things that usually that I'm not able to do with the other than honorable. And I owe that to them. That's what I mean. I had to clarify that. Now, to clarify about my sister, you know, yes, there were some things that went on between me and her that was very wrong. Like, it was to the point where I was being abused for show. Like, it was a tap dance show to be abused by her to get the audience attention, so that they can applaud like that, and I won't be abused no more, and that's how it was. And I don't want that type of life no more. And then my brother introduced me to drugs and went and watched my child, which was his first nephew from his baby sis. His first nephew from his baby sis, he wouldn't watch. And I'm telling you these things, like I say on Facebook, because I want y'all to know that when I do start getting around people and getting myself out there with people around me, that when you see me doing good and everything, I'm not even sure that my sister didn't call the Senate office in Santa Maria and tell them about my past in Santa Maria. I'm not sure about that, just to do it. But I'm telling you guys about my past now so that you guys will know, hey, look, this is my past. This is what I've been through. And this is what I've conquered, you know. So, you know, I just want y'all to know I ran for Senate. I got a Mercedes Benz by myself. I ran for Senate by myself twice, US and state Senate by myself. Um, I got a master's degree by myself. You know, I've done a lot by myself, and nobody can take those things away from me. I may be by myself doing those things, but I've had some help along the way. I have to admit, I have had some help along the way. Little help, very little, very minimum, but some help, some help, you know. But something is wiry and off with your sister when she pushes you in front of a boy that punches you in the face and messes up your eye. You know, y'all notice that my eye is a little, not crooked, but a little tilted, where one is kind of like lower than the other one. And that's where that come from, because she pushed me. And I'm not trying to go down jury lane, but it's just the fact that people need to know the dysfunctional that I didn't ask to come in. I didn't ask to come in that. So blame your mother. I don't blame her, but I blame the people that she tried to build us on a solid foundation. She tried to build us on a solid functional foundation. And all they can think about was the negativity that was going on around us. But they never tried to give her props, you know. And that is where I drew the line. You know, I always loved my mother no matter what, you know. So let's get started. So, what's to come for the future? So, when I graduate next year, I plan on taking some real estate classes. I don't want to take no real estate classes now. When I want to take them when I move. I plan on moving to a different location other than the location that I told everybody I was moving. I'm not telling nobody where I'm moving until the last minute, until I'm in that area and I've been in that area for like a month and been with the VA, been driving around, been seeing, you know, how the area is, you know. I'm not telling nobody nothing. So I'm going to take some real estate classes and see where that goes. If all else fails, I'll still get paid. I get checks and I'm happy that I get checks. You know, the military and everywhere else, you know, they look out for me, you know, and I appreciate it. I will save my money and try to get into something that will bring me more money my way. You know, I want to be into something that brings me consistent money. I do have the business, but that's going to take 3 to 4 to up to 5 months to actually get off the ground. So, you know, I want to wait on, I'm not waiting. It's just a long ride with that. So just let y'all know that's all next year goes. Right now, tomorrow's agenda is to edit a video and do more homework. I gotta stay on my homework. I'm not behind on my homework by far. And I asked the teacher if I was doing good. He said I'm doing good. I'm not behind on things. Um, Editing a video. I will edit the guy's video. Y'all should check him out. I think his name is Paul Pritchett or Bitchett. Um, we did an interview together. It was a wonderful interview. Um, I let him do most of the talking because he had a lot to get off his chest as a veteran of the Air Force. Um, so yeah, yeah. So I wanna edit his when stuff does start happening. I can't tell y'all. I can't let me close this out. I can't tell y'all, hey, look, it's happening, baby doll. I'm getting a lot of money. No, I can't tell y'all. I can't tell y'all that I'm getting a lot of money. Cause then it's gonna be like, give me your money, you know, and I'm gonna be like, no, and then I'm gonna get shot up either way, you know, and it's gonna be hell, you know. So I can't tell y'all when I'm getting money or how I'm getting money, you know. I'm just saying when I'm getting money, you know, and or if I'm getting money, you know, the time frame, you know, and stuff of that nature. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. So I truly want it to work where I've had a lot of blessings come my way due to Donald Trump. And not even Donald Trump. I put most of the blame on his administration, and he has the final call. Most of the blame is on his administration, how they sit up there and the way they text me at certain points of the day of what I be doing and how I be doing it. You know, people don't believe me. People like, oh, she's crazy, loony, whatever. You know, it is what it is. You can believe what you want to believe, but I got to meet a great man, Marty Kaiser. Marty Kaiser is on in my picture books or my photos in on Facebook. You can find him on Facebook on my picture books. I was so busted. Not busted as in I'm busted with him because he had a great wife and family. I mean busted as in I look totally busted because all I used to do is clean. But he was a part of, he made tools for the CIA, the FBI, and the police. He made listening devices. And he was a quiet man. I remember low I just call him Lomax. I'm not going to say his first name. My husband Lomax, because that's what I used to call him. I don't know why I used to call him by his last name. My ex-husband Lomax used to mow the lawn, and we had like a hella big lawn. And it was a big house, very big house. Not big as a White House, but it was big White House, like big yard, big yard. You wouldn't see a black bear coming if you saw it coming, even though I saw a black bear and I was in the car and I took a picture of it. But anyway, it was deer abundant, all that. And anyway, something told me they were getting groceries, him and his wife outside the car. He drove a Mercedes. And something told me to come and go and talk to him. So that's what I did. I went to go talk to Marty Kaiser. And if you don't know, if you want to know if I'm lying, you can compare the picture to uh YouTube video of him. Look up his name, Marty Kaiser. Look up Odyssey of the Eavesdropper. Look up Marty Kaiser on Yahoo or Google. You'll find it. He is the man they made Enemy of the State about. He only got $5 from that movie, to be quite honest. And I got to meet some great people along the way. And he he told me about everything, you know. And then he shoved some reason he shoved an instrument, which was it was uh a type of luggage. It wasn't even a luggage. It was something that carried something in it, inside of it. It was like a luggage, but it was like something, it was stereo equipment, but it was no equipment in there. But he was like, here, you can have this. I don't need it anymore. And I'm like, okay. I didn't want to say no to an older guy. And God bless his soul, he's probably expired by now. We never got to have tea because Lomax was getting jealous. If your man, if your brother, if a man has to isolate you from another man that is only trying to be nice, he knows he has a wife, he knows he just want to be nice, then something's wrong with that picture. He taught me about how to use apps, which those apps aren't always efficient to find listening devices or type of devices in your house, like recording or cameras in your house, using apps, because that's what he do when he used to travel to hotel rooms with his wife, is actually scan the hotel room for recording and cameras and stuff. So yeah, but I miss that guy. I truly miss him. I truly miss him. So he will forever be missed. And speaking of that, what they make enemy of the state about, you know, you can see the Trump administration, speaking of that, going back to the Trump administration, you can see the NSA passed over some of their items to the FBI. I hope this don't get me banned or anything. They passed some of their items over, or they work closely with the FBI to utilize. They have a go at utilizing those tools, same tools that Will Smith and I think it's Gene Hackman. I'm not sure if that was Gene Hackman, but um they utilize those tools such as zooming in, going 360 around the person, seeing what the person does, in a apartment, going in their house, just looking at their floor, if their floor is dirty, wherever they have that access. Certain tiers. And then you got the certain tiers that have the access if it's a high profile case. That's how they found that man so easily that blew up the Tesla um car lot with mocktail cocktails. First they they looked at his car from the regular cameras, and you could not tell his car from jack crap. They're still trying to find a guy with the motorcycle that hit a woman and killed her. And they got cameras on the street. But back to the story, they were able to find out the exact model of the car using their imaging out of 900 cars or 600 cars on the highway, got the make and model. It is so amazing. I wish I was on their team. It is so amazing with the work that they do, the work that they put in. It's still hard work, but they probably did more than what they say they did. And so, depending on the tier system, they sit up there and work on how they found, like they figure out a way to say how would they find them if they were to do it this way. If they were to do it that way, if at 9 o'clock p.m. he did it this way, and they sat up there and they went back to 9 p.m. and they found him this type of way using their imaging from the NSA type imaging, how would they find him through the FBI using the images such as um the cars and the 900 cars and all of that. you know that's what they did. That's exactly what they did, supposedly, allegedly. you know so yeah, you know the NSA ain't there for nothing. And they wanting to get 20 years out of this shindig. So yeah. So yeah, but um a judge gets arrested for housing an illegal immigrant. What is going on? What is going on? The plot thickens. What is going on? You guys, the FBI arrested her. How did they find that out? How did they find it out? How do they find it out? A Milwaukee Circuit Court judge helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest. Dang, man. They just don't know, man. Let's go ahead and I love watching videos. I know y'all like, damn it, these damn videos don't have no volume to it. I apologize. Whenever I get a chance, I'm going to go somewhere to like a radio company, not a radio company, but like one of them guitar heroes or something, to see how would I hook my, oh, that hurt my neck. How would I hook my situation room up? I call my computer my situation room up. How would I hook up my situation room with stuff so that y'all can hear the volume more? I know it's an extensive process, but I promise y'all I will be doing that as soon as I can. I'm not going to make no promises and say tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now. I'm going to say as soon as I get a chance. So until then, just turn up your volume and we I want to see the whole thing. Look, China is saying allegedly I was asleep, half asleep, and all the news companies. I think I seen it on Channel 5 or uh News 7 or something. That China is saying that this is false news. it's fake news. They said it out their mouth that it's fake news that they're trying to reach a deal or something. But I want to know what this is about. Trump says no to China. Ooh, everybody's going down. George Santos sentenced to over 7 years in prison. I have to watch that one on my own because that's CBS. Uh, let's see. I'm afraid this is a 10-minute video. Okay, I found a new video. You see that smile, $1 million smile right there? She is laughing. because they're protecting them. It's obvious they're protecting them. They are their protection. They're protecting them and they're paying them to protect them. Period. 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 It's no way in hell. It's no way in hell would let somebody that dangerous live with me unless I was paying them to protect me. The Democrats. The Democrats. She really strongly feels very passionately about her job, and that's why I don't have to say much during that. You know, they asked her a question. I said the Democrats. You know, when they say who feels that they're strongly above the law, the Democrats. I would love to know. This is on Fox. I have to admit, they set him up pretty darn good. They set him up wire fraud, doing all types of stuff. They set him up, and he was a freshman, not even a freshman in the Congress, and they set him up, and he lost very miserably. all right. He'll do just fine in prison. Okay. Okie doke. That is. I'm not gonna play no more because then. But George Santos got 7 years in prison. It's been handed down 72, well, 82. How many months is that? 87 months. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I ain't having nobody blame me and get me locked up for no 82 or 87 months in prison. That's 7 years of my life taken. That'll ruin me. And then my electric bill be sky high. No, sir, no, ma'am. And then with the charge that I got, if you got assault one, you can never file to get a gun again in the state of Seattle. But if you got an assault 3 or 4, you can file to get a gun in 5 years if you have broken no laws. And that's what I plan on doing in the next 5 years is getting another weapon. They even said it to me when I was in court in jail, and that's what I plan on doing. Because it is just ridiculous out here. Very ridiculous. Hopefully, where I'm going, they have the right to carry your weapon, whether in the. I don't want to carry my weapon in a car because what if somebody break in my car and then use it on me or something? So yeah, but these two judges is crazy, man. I don't make up this shit. I don't sit up there and say to myself, well, let me make up some news about judges today. It just happened to be the national news. I kept saying, I kept saying, I kept saying that the reason why they don't do nothing about it is because they're protecting them. And they're not only they're ready for war. They're ready for war. It's some type of war. I'm telling you, man, I'm not trying to cause a frenzy, but just like Pam Bundy used the gun, just like all these women used the gun, Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these men use guns, they are ready for war. They aren't playing. They are ready for war. They seriously are ready for war. It just sickens me, man. How can and they probably won't get charged with much. I think that that should serve also a 20-year sentence for harboring a criminal. They get their due process, and then there's going to be skepticals that say that that's messed up. They shouldn't be doing that to judges. But then again, I would say in-handedly, cold-heartedly, fuck you. I'm not saying fuck the judges. I'm saying fuck you for even thinking that way. Because for one, they shouldn't be harboring fugitives that's not from this country, that want to kill, rape, steal, drug traffic, stab, make people's life worse, put people in mental institutions, make them look crazy. It's different levels of this shit. It's sick. How dare you make our lives scarier? And I can only imagine, you know, I only imagine what's going on here in the sanctuary states. They could be just hopped up on a judge couch now, just watching TV, Tren de Agua, just like, man, they ain't gonna do shit to me. All I gotta do is make one bitch look crazy, kill another bitch, cause I want to. The judge is gonna protect me, cause I'm Tren de Agua. I'm MS-13. As long as I protect them, I'm good. It's like a law to never go against the judges, never go against the people that are higher up. Hierarchy. It's crazy. It's very crazy. So there'll be a show out in a couple of days to a day talking about no justice, no peace. We want those judge released, type thing. You know, they did no wrong. You know, now we know who's running the strings. I been knew who was running the strings, but now we know who's running the strings. Aren't y'all scared? I got 8, 7, it's about to be May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 7 months to go before I sit up there and leave and split like a banana. I have to deal with this shit for 7 more months. I don't feel like dealing with this shit for 7 more months, but I have to deal with this shit for 7 more months. I wonder what's gonna come. Am I going to get beat up? Is my car going to get messed up? Am I going to get shot in the leg? Am I going to get shot in the head? What's going to happen to Kimberly? I'm speaking into existence because I don't want to see it happen. Seriously. Am I going to get locked up in a mental facility because they keep following me, and then when I call the police, they leave the scene, they flee the scene, and it looks like it's just my psyche, my mental health? I should have never came to this goddamn state. I had no money and I had to come to the state. I told myself, well, let's just make the best of it while you're here. I said, let's just make the best of it while you're here. I didn't research Democrat states from Republican states. I didn't know where to research. I didn't know how to research. I just said different states. How far is far from California? I didn't research whether it was a Republican or Democrat. Say, how far is this state from California? How far is this state? It's just sad. So, anyway, about 99.9% of the population is Democrat. I don't care if they say they're not Democrat. I don't care how they reword it. They either don't vote or they're not Republican. They don't vote, they don't get into talking politics, or they're not Republican. So with that being said, how can you make a friend in a town like this? How can you make a friend in a town like California? Where you got people pushing you on purpose, making it seem like it's a fake thing that they were doing, where you got people doing all types of crap to you on purpose, walking behind you real close, could have had a knife type thing, devil worshippers that blatantly say they devil worshippers. I would never go to California again. Sick, man. So with that being said, this is the stuff I had to go through. This is the downright right nitty gritty stuff I had to go through while I was in California. They locked me up illegally. They raped me while I was locked up. I didn't even know I was asleep for 5 days. They had me sedated illegally for 5 days, and I get no justice because I have no real money to pay for an attorney. I have no real money to pay for an attorney. And that's all what this is about. And I bet you even if I had money, they still wouldn't take the case. Don't the patterns seem like it sound the same? Raped in jail, raped in uh the hospital. Those are the type of places you never want to fall asleep at and be sedated at. But they purposefully sedated me. And they were bringing meth and fentanyl in the jail. I was acting totally different. They were bringing meth and fentanyl in the jail during the same time I was there. During the whole time I was there, they were bringing meth and fentanyl. And even after I left, they were bringing meth and fentanyl, a lawyer, and they were distributing it amongst the rest of the population in between the correctional officers. That's how I got in. Someone paid a correctional officer to pretend like there was no drugs in the or contraband in the clothing that they submitted through the walkthrough, through the checkpoint. And the women officers were just as worse. You don't want to know what they did to me. Days without showers, both parties. Days without showers. It was sick. It was sick. And then now they just Seattle have a nerve to yip yap about ICE and them hygiene and them going through shit. When they can't even keep King County. King County is the dirtiest place. The dirtiest jail ever. The water is dirty. Don't get me started, man. And that leads me to the last question I'm going to ask y'all. Are judges really harboring illegal immigrants? Because to me, it seemed like they are. You know why? Because they keep bringing it up on the news about how they aren't being, illegal immigrants aren't being taken care of well enough. When you got King County Jail out here going through hell, these are mental health instituted people that are killing, smuggling, corruption, raping, so many things. I can't think of anything. They brag about killing. They set me up in there, y'all. I moved to a different unit, a different tank, and these girls should not have known me. And yet they wave their hair around, they whip their hair back and forth, talking about Cloud is dead. Cloud is dead. 5 minutes later, the VA come in, and I'm like, was the VA a setup on it too? That's why I'm not telling nobody where I move into until the last minute. I can never do that. That still have not been accounted for the way they treated me and with the things that were said, the possible spitting in the food, the possible putting drugs in my food, that still have not been accounted for. Talking about if she slept more, she would be raped. I minded my business while in there. I was joking with my judge earlier. She asked me to come physically, and I said, she said, well, can you come physically? I said, well, I can, but it's dangerous out there downtown. I've seen so many videos, so many horrific videos from 2022 to now about homeless people and people that are crazy, that just start beating on lawyers and beating on people. Not to mention when the last time I was down there and I was at the parking lot, there was a white male in a blanket talking about, let me in the car and we can get high off of meth together. And I just took off. I didn't say nothing. I said, no, that's okay. And I just took off. That's what I got to look forward to the next time I come down there physically. But I'm not driving. I'm catching an Uber. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Never waste my time, you all I want.